welcome. Welcome, collective. Welcome in, or welcome back if you are a returning subscriber. I hope you're having a great day, and today is officially the last day of the sun in True Sky Taurus. Also, not only do we have the sun on the boundary of Taurus and Gemini, but Jupiter, which was in True Sky Gemini yesterday, is now in True Sky Cancer. So Jupiter has now moved into Cancer, which is interesting because in the main deck here, which I've pre-shuffled all the decks and cleansed the space, and the main deck I'm using is the Sacred Circle. We have 3 cup cards, which I do think is interesting. We do have some of the water elements in the reading today, and we do have Venus and Jupiter in Cancer. Also, we have Neptune and Saturn in Pisces. So we do have a bit of watery energy currently. The moon has now moved into True Sky Leo, which is a lot bigger sign than True Sky Cancer. True Sky Cancer isn't very big. So the next reading I do, there will be different decks featured. So I chose these decks mostly because of their association to the Earth, because the sun transiting through the sun of Taurus, the Taurus is an Earth sign. So the next decks I'll choose for Gemini will have more of that air quality to them. So yeah, so the first, on the bottom of the deck, we have for you the 6 of Swords, which has been coming up. So you have been going through some hard times, and you are now on the other side of that. You're now in a calmer space. So congratulations to that. That is the shadow energy of the deck, however. The first card we have is the 3 of Cups. So this is a card of celebration with loved ones. It's emotionally a positive time, especially if it's upright. So I do riffle shuffle the decks quite a bit, and occasionally I will get reversed cards, but I don't get a lot. So when I do get a reversal, I really try to read it as a reversal and take it as that it has that meaning, because I don't get a lot of them. So then we have the Lord as our crowning card for today. So the Lord is like the father card. It's that divine masculine energy. It is linked to Aries, and we do have our Mars sign has also moved. So our Mars now is also in, so that was the third one. So we've got 3 major planets at the moment doing a lot. Mars is now in True Sky Taurus, and we still have Uranus in True Sky Taurus, and the sun, even though it's exiting. So yeah, we had Mars in Aries. It's now in Taurus, which is interesting. We have this Lord here. So the Lord is linked to Aries, and it's linked to Mars. So there is like some prominence here. And in this specific tarot as well, he has a very earthy vibe. You know, he's linked to the Wild Hunt and all that. Then we have the Knight of Cups. So this could be someone significant in your life at the moment. Someone that has quite an emotional temperament. Could be of the water signs or prominent signs or water houses, or the ruling planets of the water signs significant in their chart. And he can also represent a love offer. So I'm not sure if you can really see it here, but he does have a cup in his hand. So he is offering some kind of love. Could be friendship, doesn't need to be, you know, passionate love or anything like that. But there could be someone coming in at this time offering you a cup. And then we have the 6 of Cups. So the 6 of Cups is a real strong card of nostalgia. So this is flanking our central card, which is that card of sacrifice. So this card is linked to Neptune, which is interesting that we do have the Neptune in Pisces, which we will have for a long time. It is a very slow moving planet, and Pisces is a very large sign. So in the true sky, it's going to be there for a long time. However, this is highlighted today. So there may be some kind of sacrifice that you're needing to make, and it could be linked with a father or a father figure in your life. And also in the base card here, we have the Four of Discs, which is to do with materialism. So this sacrifice could also be to do with physical resources. So perhaps you are needing to help materially, this father figure potentially even sacrificing your material resources, and maybe even sacrificing your, wanting to save, wanting to be frugal, wanting to, hang on to that money, but rather actually helping someone than hang on to it, that this could be this sacrifice. Then we have the Seven of Swords, which is the card of diplomacy. So this Knight of Cups is linked in here. So potentially this Knight of Cups could even be offering some kind of diplomacy. This could even be you. It doesn't have to be a male either. And they're often of the Knights are often of the like late teens to say mid-30s age range. And it doesn't have to be that age range either. And then there is some kind of diplomatic offer here. Some kind of offer that this Knight. So maybe this Knight's even helping the father. And there's some kind of celebration, some nostalgia about the past here. Then we have the Three of Wands for you. So this is the card of foundation. This is about creative stretching, new directions. It is a prosperity card. So it is linked to growth and, passionate projects, and also collaborating with others as well. This is also linked with this materialism. So potentially this collaboration is something that's linked with these figures, and you might even need to be sacrificing something in your... So, and it could even be linked to this, this materialism as well. Then we have the Wheel. So the Wheel is a really lucky card. It is linked with Jupiter as well, which is interesting that we do have that moved into Cancer now, which is primarily focused on, home and family and motherhood and nourishment and all those Cancerian types of things. So, and we do have that nostalgic card here as well. So the next cards I'm going to clarify with are the Green Witch Tarot. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Nature card. So the Nature card is equivalent to like the Devil card. So it could mean that there's an underlying energy here that, there could be potentially some kind of like maybe underlying addiction or addictive energy here. I mean, it doesn't need to be, a drug addiction, for example. It could even just be like tobacco, or it could be, it can be anything. It doesn't need to be. However, because the shadow energy of the main deck is that Six of Swords, I'm getting the message that it's saying that. So it could be, just with that underlying energy of the Six of Swords, it could be that that's over now, that you've passed through those waters, those choppy waters, and you're actually in a calmer, safer place. Or even it could be someone in your life. So it could even be this father figure or this Knight of Cups, potentially. That devil energy could be attached to them. So the first card, interesting. I always find it so interesting when you get the layers of meanings. So for the Three of Cups, we have the Lord of Shadows. So this is your kind of death card. So it's about change. So this celebration energy, this emotional, celebration with people that you love, it's kind of ending. There's an ending process here. There's a change, a big change happening right now. And it is linked to this Lord. This could be your father, could be your partner. It could be a friend. It could be you. But they are clarified by this Ten of Pentacles. So they have significant resources. They have like enough for multiple generations to be living happily, this father figure here. And then for this Knight of Cups, they are clarified by the Queen of Pentacles. So she also is very abundant queen, especially on the material realm, you know, with resources, with money, with, you know, food, with all the earth elements. So, you know, shelter, anything physical that you would need or want. Then for the Six of Cups, so this is that nostalgic energy, we have the Standing Stone. So this is actually the card of justice, like traditionally. So having that, maybe you've been looking back at your past and maybe even realizing that, you know, things weren't very fair, or things, maybe there was a real sense of injustice in your past. But that you almost have a sense of calm about it, because you know that you will get yours, you know, kind of every dog has their day, and that, you know, we all go through struggles, we all go through hard times, and that maybe because you did have yours earlier, it might mean that, you know, there's good times to come, you know, that those challenging kind of days are over. Or maybe you're even looking back and realizing that there really was a divine sense of justice back then. Maybe something that good that happened when you were younger, or in a past time, in a past place, and you're really grateful for that energy as well. For the Sacrifice card, our central card for you today, it's clarified by the World Tree. So this sacrificial energy, which has been coming up a bit, is completing. It's in the process, or it has completed. There is this serious sense of completion here, having the World, or the World Tree card here as a clarifier. So, you know, whatever is going on, know that we've also got that Death card there too. So we've got the ending, we've got the completion. There's definitely a closing up at the moment. So that means that there's new energies coming in, which is interesting actually, because we do have, like I said, we had the Jupiter move into Cancer, Mars moved into Taurus, and the Sun is about to move into Gemini. So we do have quite a bit of significant change right now. Then for the Seven of Swords, and this was the sense of diplomacy, the importance of diplomacy, we have the Nine of Wands. So this is another kind of conflicty card, but it does suggest that, you know, you may be feeling defensive. However, you're not losing. You may have been through some hard battles, and you may have been injured. You may be healing from that. You know, whatever traumas, whatever phobias may have been created. So you may be quite defensive. However, you kind of know that if you hold your ground, that you will succeed. You'll get through it. You've just got to be firm and strong at this time. And so using your diplomacy with that energy is very positive. So for the Three of Wands, this is about that stretching, you know, new directions, potentially even new collaborations with others, new enterprises. You have the Page of Athens. So potentially this could be a child. The pages can represent children, and they would or could be of the air signs or houses or the planets ruling those signs significant in the chart. It could also be new ideas coming in as well at this time. New ideas. Then for the Four of Discs, so this was the materialism, which was linked here with the sacrifice and the Lord. So it's interesting. We have the Six of Pentacles. So once again, this is about give and take. So those that have, giving to those that need, and those that need getting from those that have. You know, it's a nice, it kind of to me has almost a justice energy. You know, people getting what they need, and, you know, people that have too much, letting that flow. And then for the Wheel, we have the Two of Chalices. So the Wheel is a very positive card, especially in the upright. And having the Two of Chalices, it does suggest that it doesn't have to be a new love coming in, but there is a new emotional nourishment at this time. It could be from old people. It doesn't have to be. It could be from people that are already in your life, but there's like a new thirst, but a new quenching of that thirst at this time. The next cards I'm going to pull from are the Earth Magic Oracle, and on the bottom of the deck we have Autumnal Equinox, Release. So these energies could very much be linked with the autumn equinox. Then we have Desert, Vision Quest. This is for the Father, the Lord. So the Lord with a lot of resources is going on a vision quest. So maybe they're actually going away somewhere soon. They're actually going on a quest, and they will get visions about what they need to do with this material abundance. Then we have for you, that one was flying everywhere, Lotus Flower, Unfoldment. So wow, what a beautiful central card we have today. I think they say that the lotus is meant to have like 1,000 petals or something. So this sacrifice that's closing up and bringing success and good things is like an unfoldment that's happening. So it's a process. It's quite an enlightening time. Then for the materialism, which is linked to this give and take energy, we have emergence. So there's something new emerging from this situation, which sounds rather lovely. The next cards I'm going to pull from are the Green Witch Oracle cards. And on the bottom of the deck, we do have the Sun, which is interesting because, I mean, today we have the Moon in Leo, but also the Sun is moving signs in the process. And then we have Snow. So this was for the Vision Quest. We have Snow, rest and contemplation. So this whether this Lord is you or someone else, it could be that you are needing to be a leader in your own life. So if that's the case, by being that leader with this abundance of resources and this heritage, this lineage, and this vision quest, you also need to make sure you're getting enough rest and contemplation for it to really work, for you to get these visions. Then for the unfoldment, we have Moth, mystery, concealment, and illusion. So there's some mystery, some concealment, which is interesting because the petals do kind of conceal a bit, but also under the water. There's a lot going on under the water that we don't see. An illusion, you know, the way it floats. Then we have, for the dragonfly with the emergence, we have sickle, focus, regrowth, and letting go. Wow. So even though there's this emergence from this process, you can't get too attached to it. There is a new cycle beginning, and there is a letting go going on. So you really need to focus on this new phase coming in, and this regrowth, this new phase, new energy. Then for the Nature Speak Oracle, on the bottom of the deck we have Spread Seeds, which could be linked to, I mean, ideas. It could be linked, I'm not exactly sure what your situation entails, but seeds, you know, don't have to be physical seeds. I mean, sure, if you want to spread actual seeds, like maybe you're into gardening or something, but it's a good exercise in, like, you know, it's very meditative and exploratory, and you learn a lot from having a garden. We have veils parting. So there is like a spiritual experience here with this rest and contemplation. And there could even be a link here with the winter because it's snow. Snow generally happens in the winter. Then for the moth, we have believe in your dreams. So that's really important. Don't, forget these things that you have wanted to do, or sometimes it's good to write them down. Then we have be cautious. So this is about the letting go, focus, and regrowth. So yeah, be careful what you do cut away, because maybe there are things that maybe you might cut too much away or not enough. So yeah, be cautious. The last cards I have for you today are the Australian Wildflower cards. And on the bottom of the deck, we have Geraldton Wax, assertiveness. So maybe you might need to be assertive as well in this situation, which the Lord kind of is saying, because he's the leader. So he doesn't take, orders from others. He's a very assertive individual. So the first card we have for the veils parting is Royal Bluebell, generosity. It's the floral emblem of the Australian Capital Territory, so the ACT. And it also is found throughout Victoria. You will find that an act of generosity will make all the difference in shifting energies. Don't dismiss even small tokens made toward you, and also look to ways you can be more generous with your time and energy. Holding everything within and not being open to sharing your good fortune or wisdom will only promote fermentation and staleness. The flow of energy is what creates abundance, growth, and balance. Often generosity is linked with trust issues. Are there problems right now surrounding this? Now is the time to open your heart and trust again. And an act of generosity will be a positive start. The challenge of Royal Bluebell is greed and in being over-generous for the wrong reasons. You can't buy integrity or friendships. As a healer, Royal Bluebell softens hardline thinking and opens the heart. So that's interesting. Nice message there. It definitely made me think because of we had that Lord card and then we had the 10 of Pentacles. So yeah, it is true that when you have so much, you need to kind of be careful with what you do, because wasting resources is I think it's very kind of disrespectful energy. Personally, I struggle with it all the time. I'm not I don't want this channel to be political at all, but I know that say for example with the government and things like that, they spend so much money on things that I don't even know if it's benefiting that many people, it's quite, I find it really disrespectful. But yeah, I need to not talk about politics. But yeah, in general, it's one of those things that it's very tricky, isn't it? So the next card we have for the central card here is Tree, Spider, Orchid. Resolve, which is interesting because we do have that. We have the Sacrifice card with the World Tree, which to me almost has a resolving kind of energy there. So it actually is found along the coast of Queensland and New South Wales. It's an epiphyte, so it grows on a host. You can do this. Look at your individual actions for the clues. For those facing seemingly insurmountable problems, break them down into tiny parts and tackle one at a time. Believe in yourself and trust your intuition. If it feels wrong, it will be. Look after your mind, body connections right now, and you'll find the answers and strengthen to resolve to get things moving. Do not be put off by the limitations of the past. A challenge could be a period of isolation, but this will be new growth for the possibility of a deeper spiritual experience. Now is not the time to share all, so keep something of you back a little until the time is better suited. Be very mindful of one-sided relationships. Now is definitely the time to balance these out. Yeah. So there's something resolving there. I do find that these cards really clarify the main cards quite well. So the next card we have here is the Billy Buttons, which lovely card also is the Peace. So they're found in inland Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria and South Australia. Billy Buttons herald peace, an end to disputes and a prompt to settle disagreements. They signal that you may be the peacemaker and indicate to you that now is the time to make it happen, to move forward in order for balance to be restored. If you have felt that you cannot fight on, then the appearance of Billy Buttons says don't. Now is not the time for fighting. It is the time to make peace. A new way of thinking and tackling the issues will present when heads are calm. The challenge of Billy Buttons is arrogance and a win at all costs attitude. Perhaps you or someone needs to ask, what are we fighting for? As a healer, Billy Buttons brings peace, calm, and serenity. It works very well with those in disputes and as a meditation support. So that's interesting because we didn't really have a lot of the disputing energy here, so that works quite well. We've got the materialism and then the Six of Pentacles, so 2 discards clarifying there. Yeah, be cautious. So maybe the be cautious is also about the peace. Try to keep things peaceful, especially with this, regrowth is an interesting energy, and the letting go, so the cutting away, and the focus as well can be a bit intense. So that is your card reading for the day. So this is the last day of True Sky Taurus. And Taurus season is closing up for us here. It is winter, so it's interesting that quite different energies from the Northern Hemisphere. I think that a lot of the astrological meanings come from the Northern Hemisphere's seasons. So Taurus being that abundant, fertile earth sign, you would be really experiencing all of those energies in the Northern Hemisphere. However, so far the winter, it's not, because it's only early winter here, so it's not too harsh. I think we've had a couple of frosty mornings. It's still quite gentle, the winter. It's, I'm not sure if other Southern Hemisphere, obviously other places would get it a lot more extreme than we would. But normally, it gets colder the further into winter. And I've even noticed, it's interesting, I do notice here that even in the middle of winter, we still have flowers, we still have, lots going on. So I think just because we do get so much sun here, and I'm in a cooler region too, so I'm not I'm not like in the outback, in the desert areas. However, I think the seasons out there are really, really, really different. They have more like the wet and the dry. So I think the winter is the dry for them. And they probably actually could still be getting flowers and things too. So that Venus energy is still around, even though we're in winter here. It's very different. I hope you have a great day, and thank you for coming to my channel and being here and listening. And if you could comment and or subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, please do. I'd be so grateful. And yeah, and then you will, if you do subscribe, then you should get notifications as to new readings coming out. So that's always helpful if you do enjoy them, you know. And yeah, and take care, and I'll be back soon. Bye.